I've got my launch trolley in the workshop stroke office, and I'm just going to give it a quick assessment. There's a lot of, first thing I've noticed really, there's a lot of rusty screws that are also quite loose. And actually, if I can just rest that there, I think the biggest problem is this here at the end. So that's made launching the trolley really wibbly wobbly, because you can see the front end there has nothing looking after it, and these are all a little bit loose as well. The next thing I'd like to do is this front part here. I don't know what this is called, but this looks after the bow of the boat, and this got us through the season, but you can see it's so easy, it's so bendy that, and these all got loose, so the boat barely sits on it. I'd like to get a stronger version of that size to the boat. The next thing I'd like to do is these wheels. So let's just put this back up here. So the problem with these wheels are they're solid rubber and they're quite thin, so they're absolutely rubbish on anything other than firm grass or solid concrete or tarmac. I've got some other wheels that I was actually bought for my birthday, because that's the kind of guy I am. That should give it a lot more. They're blown, they're air-filled tyres, knobbly, so they should be a lot better for launching the boat. And I'm thinking about, launching off beaches and actually getting the boat in the lake when there's no water as well. We'll also take a look at these little pads, although these are kind of working quite well. The wood is quite good quality wood, so it seems to deal with the water quite well. Last job I wanted to show you is here where the handle is. I'd like to attach something on here that will attach to the front of the boat, so the boat will stay on the trolley better. At the moment it kind of shunts up to here, and it's damaged the front of the wood, on the bow of the boat, on the gunnel. So, that's going to need sorting, and I want to maybe sort something out that will just get the boat fixed firmly on the trolley a bit better. So lots to do with the trolley. I think it's going to be loads of little quick wins, and I'm looking forward to fixing it. First job, I'm going to try and get one of these wheels off and have a look what's going on. So they've got these little push pins. They're quite basic actually. They've got this little push pin that's just bent over, and I assume these just come off. I don't think these screw on. I think these will just slip off. I don't know how corroded these are, but we will soon find out. In fact, this is actually just a nail that's been pushed in here, so you can see the pin in there, and then I've just it just came out, so that's like just a little nail that's come out. Now I don't think these screw on, I think they tap off, but they look like they're a little bit seized. So we shall get the WD-40 and give that a little spray and let that just soak in, and then we'll see if it will come off. So that's had a few minutes just to soak in, so I'm just going to get these pliers and give this a little, there you go, a little loosener. Now, actually that's now nice and loose. I think that should just come off with a little bit of wiggling. There we go. So there's the top nut off, and then the wheel should just slide off. There we go. So that's one wheel removed. The other side, so if you can have a closer look here, the other side, that's just really the backing for the wheel. There's no bearings in here because the trolley's like literally wheeled 20 meters a week, you know. So here is the new wheel. Just put that to the side. But there's a slight problem. This hole here is not as big as this one, so it just won't slide over. And now my first thought was I could drill out that hole, but maybe I could drill that hole out. I don't think I could add something on here. I could slide a sleeve and have the wheel out here, but the trouble with that is I don't think the trolley will fit into my big trailer if the wheels are further out, so I'd have to check that. So I've had a good measure up, and I think our best bet is to try and drill these holes out. Good old Amazon. I got a Amazon Prime pre 1 PM delivery, and the time is, I think it's about 10:30, something like that. I got one of these. Let's try and get it out the packet. It's a little bit oily. So what this is I think it's a 26 mil wide, I think they call it a blacksmith drill bit, very specialist, and that should drill a hole. Yeah, if you look at that, it's almost the same size. It's going to drill a tiny bit bigger. So the idea is that, sorry, that was my old trolley wheel. This is the new one, but the hole isn't big enough. Now I figure I can drill this hole if I'm careful and just have enough room for it to still be quite stable. So we've got the trusty drill, which has got a 1/4 inch chuck. So we've got the drill bit in there. Now, I can't fit this in my Dremel, so I can't use the sort of little mini press drill that I've got. So I'm going to have to do it by hand, and we're going to give it a go and see what happens. The worst case scenario is I think I can probably 3D print one of these if I really have to. So let's give it a go and see. I'm going to have to move it out a little bit. Let's adjust the camera, that's it. It's just a case of getting the first little bit. Whoa! Let's just I just adjusted the camera angle a little bit. Just a case of getting the first bit in the right spot, and then we can give it a go. Okay. Okay, that's working. I think it's actually taking out too much plastic, but that's actually working really well. Let's do it lower gear. Okay. Okay, I'm an idiot. I thought I had it in the low gear, and I didn't. It just needed to have a higher torque to get through. So we're nearly there. We're nearly there. There we go. We're through. Okay. That is a top-notch job. I'm really chuffed with that. Really chuffed. So I've just got to get this this little bit in the middle started off really well, and that should fit. So let's see if that fits. Oh yeah, oh brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay, so it's brilliant, fits, just run out of a little bit of tube there though. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to re-drill a tiny hole and shift this collar down, but we've got plenty of room to do that. So that looks really good. I'm really chuffed with that. So let's do the other one. Right, that's the tyre put back on, and I've pumped it up as well. I did try and do it and it's still spun round. So now hopefully that'll be gripped in place. There's a good 30 psi in there. Now let's give it a go. Wow, that's brilliant. Nearly there. Oh. There we go, second one. Super easy. I mean, okay, maybe there's a bit more luck than judgment in there, and it's a tickle off centre on this one, but that has done an amazing job. So we can use these tyres, brilliant. So I'm just going to move this little collar back, and the first thing we've got to do is just remove this little cotter pin, which shouldn't be too much hard work. Shouldn't be a problem, and we should be able to reuse it as well because it looks in really good condition. There we go. Let's give that a little tap out. And then I'm not at a particularly good angle here to the floor, but hopefully that'll come out quite easily. There we go. So there's a cotter pin out. And then this, let's just take the tyre off. That just needs to move, I would say, 1 centimetre. So we'll just see if we can loosen it first. I probably shouldn't be using my pliers to do that. Let's get my little tyre hammer. Just give it a bit of coercion. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a bit of WD-40 on that. So let's just get that under the, just save the carpet. And just leave that to see if it will loosen it up a bit. It is quite good stuff, this. It does tend to loosen anything that's corroded. It's quite good with. The WD-40 has done its job, and this is nice and loose. It's quite corroded though. And then the idea is we can slip this over the top. Sorry about this, I'm having to do it one-handed. And we'll have enough this side to put the nut and the little the pin that secures it. This needs to slide on, and then we need a little bit more metal protruding here just to put a pin in. So you can see we need another, well, ideally we can put the pin in the original case, which you can just see in there. So we need to go down another, I'd say, centimetre. So that's about right. I mean, these holes could probably be a little bit higher. I could cut another one, but there's no sense in cutting a new hole there for the pin. So that, we'll find a new pin, but that was the pin that went through there, like that, and locked that in. And then we've got to drill another hole under here for the other pin to go in. So there's the cotter pin in just there, and then that next thing is the wheel goes on top, and then these two things go on the top with a new cotter pin in there. And that is this wheel done. Now, this wheel is a little bit tight. It doesn't float that good, but neither did the original wheel. So I think what we need to do is give this a little tidy up. It needs a little bit, there's lots of rough patches on there. So we'll give that a little bit of a tidy up with the Dremel. And I think that's the wheel done. We've just got to do the next one now. So this is the other wheel. You can see this wheel is infinitely better than the other wheel. There's no corrosion really on these ones at all. So this will be way more easy, I do apologise. So this will be much easier to do. I just hope we've got enough room on here to put the other wheel on. Here's the other wheel. Let's just give it a fitting. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I don't know why I was worrying. So there's plenty of room on there, look. So that will come up to there, to where the hole is. This will come up to there. And then we just need a little hole in there for the cotter pin. Giving these a good old whiz over with the Dremel in a clean, just clean that. And then we're going to use good old Quicksilver marine grease. This is specifically for this sort of job. We're just going to put a little bit on, and then we're going to have to, oops, just going to thin it down, because otherwise it won't go on like that. Just anything is something on this. Oops, I'm not having a very good camera angle there, sorry. So just a little bit, just to help it spin. And then the wheel can go on. Make sure we get it around the right way. It just slides on like that. If anything, they're tickle tight, but I'm sure they'll loosen up as time goes on. And then the last job is we put one of these on with the pin, but I'll just put a little bit of grease. I'm trying to do this one-handed, so please forgive me. I'll try and put a little bit of grease on that, because a little bit of grease won't do any harm. There we go, and then the pin goes in here. Again, trying to do this with one hand is a little bit tricky. So here's the trolley and my main car trailer. One of the things I've got to be careful of and just check now is that because these wheels are thicker, I had to move these closer into here. So I'm hoping it still snaps up onto there. So we'll give that a go and see if it fits. Yes, brilliant. So that's good. So these tyres are a lot tighter, which will probably be a good thing, but it's still wide enough and it fits perfectly.